Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I teach writing tips, role-playing resources and narrative design. In this video, we'll be looking at my Preptober for 2020 and some useful practical NaNoWriMo writing tips. Before we start with any Preptober updates, or any of the NaNoWriMo writing tips, I want to know why you are doing NaNoWriMo this year. There's no real right or wrong answer here. I just want to know why you're doing it. Please let me know in the comments below. Why am I doing NaNoWriMo? I find NaNoWriMo incredibly helpful in making me more prolific and making me a lot more economical and efficient with the words that I choose to put on page. And this is useful for both short fiction and long form fiction as well. My Preptober and plan for November. I'm aiming to write 65,000 words this November. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, it is 15,000 words more than the typical goal of NaNoWriMo, which is 50,000. But I'm doing it because I'm splitting up a lot of my writing this year between actually producing resources and actual fiction writing. Instead of writing a full-length novel this year, I'm going to be writing a series of different things. I'm going to be writing a novella, several short stories, and writing resources to help you all with your writing. I'm also going to be releasing a lot more videos on this channel during November, as well as blog posts. I'm also going to be starting a second channel, which will be focusing on GM tips, gaming, and role-playing resources. So watch this space if you'll be interested in those too. How is your Preptober going? Let me know in the comments below what you've been writing so far and what you're planning on doing next month. Now let's talk about 10 useful tips that you can use for NaNoWriMo. Tip number 1. Don't give up. If you fall behind at some point, or you fail to do the words that you meant to do in a day, don't get disheartened. It happens to the best of us. Instead, just try to stay positive and keep writing. Tip number 2, plan catch-up days in advance. It might seem simple, but a lot of beginner writers don't plan for this step. If you do, you'll be more likely to stay consistent and stay ahead of your writing goals, especially if you fall behind in your word counts. Tip number 3, write more when you can. Sometimes while writing, you'll have more energy and more oomph, and you'll be more in the moment to do more writing. When you find yourself in those situations, continue to write. Getting ahead will give you a boost of confidence, which will be much needed during the month to come, and it will make you less likely to rely on those catch-up days you've planned in advance. Tip number 4, use writing groups for support. Whether it's your local NaNoWriMo group or a Facebook group, use them. You'll find other writers that are willing to support each other, which is going to be needed when you need that much needed pat on the back to get you to continue to write. Tip number 5, don't be super strict with yourself. I recommended in a previous video to be strict and create a routine to stick to. However, don't go overboard and create stress for yourself, especially if you can't stick to that writing routine. Just keep writing. That's the name of the game. Tip number 6, don't wait for inspiration. It's probably cliche at this point, but don't wait for Lady Muse. During the writing process, you'll find those moments of inspiration way more than if you just stared at a blank screen or a piece of paper and wait for inspiration. Tip number 7, use writing prompts when you're stuck. Writing prompts can be used in a situation where you don't know how to progress the story, or you're just stuck in your writing. This could be down to a lack of outlining, which is another tip that I mentioned in another video, but you have to soldier on. Use writing prompts that could fit, or tweak them to make them fit your story better. Get over that hurdle. Tip number 8, do writing sprints. Writing sprints are my number 1 tip for writing short stories, novels, or role-playing content. Set yourself a timer on your computer, your phone, whatever it is, and just try to write as much as possible during that time. You'll be surprised at how much you can write. Tip number 9, set sub-goals that are independent of NaNoWriMo's 50,000. If you set sub-goals of 10,000, 20,000, a chapter here, a chapter there, and if you reward yourself when you reach these goals, you'll be a lot more positive in your thinking, and you'll enjoy those moments. It's called conditioning. You'll be conditioning yourself to write more, better, and enjoy it. Tip number 10, do not edit. Don't edit during the month of November. Just focus on producing as many words as humanly possible, or inhumanly possible. Editing will slow you down and will often get in the way of you being able to progress the story in that period of time. You know, you'll be thinking about a problem scene or an issue that you have with your story, and you'll just get stuck by pondering on that. Don't care about it in that moment and just continue on. And a bonus tip, work out when stuck. Going for a walk or working out is often a great activity, especially when you're stuck in your writing. It helps those brain cogs get turning again and has the added benefit of improving your health too. So, to summarize, don't give up, plan catch-up days in advance, write more when you can, utilize writing groups for support, don't stress out about your routine, don't wait for inspiration, use writing prompts when stuck, do writing sprints, set sub-goals and reward yourself, stop yourself from editing, and work out when stuck. I hope this has helped and it's given you some practical tips that you could use during NaNoWriMo this year. And don't forget to let me know in the comments below why you're doing NaNoWriMo and how's your planning been going this year. And if you've liked this video, please hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on more, and don't forget to share this video to people who might want to get into writing for NaNoWriMo this year. And also check out my writing and storytelling playlist. It's full of writing tips, storytelling advice, and narrative design tips, which will help you with your world building and more, and teaching you interesting concepts to explore in your writing too. Thanks for watching and happy writing!